it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are out here in nature and we're zooming in and focusing in on a very important topic that really comes to understanding your role as it relates to a relationship with a narcissist, and that is this cycle of fulfilling the anger of the narcissist, the psychopath. Realize that these individuals operate by force. They're always trying to force an outcome, force a situation, force an opinion and experience on others, while they do not allow others to be expressive, give their input, give their feedback, etc. They don't have a two-way discourse oftentimes. They are all in a very highly self-absorbed and oftentimes pathologically self-absorbed sort of energy and approach to relationships. And initially, they might have seemed strong, like a leader, or they might, this might be your family with whom you were born into, and so this person has had an undue influence or authority or domination over your life. And this oftentimes is created by a state of force in the relationship, and it keeps you in a negative submissive state, or having to be fulfilling the anger or counter force to their force. So one of the key aspects I would find in terms of breaking that cycle is realizing that you don't need or want to fulfill the anger or be the counterforce of the narcissist or psychopath. Don't fulfill them in this manner. They get a neurochemical high from getting really kind of launched up into that angry state, that dominating state, that controlling state, where they are trying to have power over you, dominate you through their, whatever it is, their charm, their charisma, their body language. Oftentimes they're pushing their weight around. They don't have to be heavy, in other words, overweight, to have sort of a heavy mentality, or overweighted ego mentality, where they're really kind of forcing themselves on a situation. And oftentimes people will just go along with it because they don't know how to cope or neutralize these negative people. And to neutralize them is meaning that you have to bring this state of neutrality, cool, calm, collected energy into the field when you are around them. So how do you really do that? How do you neutralize it? Well, for one, it's understanding your tone. And much of communication has to do with body language and tone, and not just the words that we say. So your tone around them should be of a different vibration or tone or expressive state or source than theirs. So they might come at you with a very kind of maybe high-pitched, angry, or forceful tonality or method of interacting with you. So you want to be strong, like a muscle, strong but cool. So cool meaning reacting in a very calm, indifferent, or neutral manner. And if they are then challenging you or trying to come at you with anger or force, then you can turn it around and back that energy up and then redirect it to them, oftentimes with a state of a question. So a good way to deflect or neutralize the situation is to turn around their negative approach, their negative question to you, and put it back in their field. In other words, redirect the negative energy. Don't absorb it. Don't personalize it. Don't take it into your body, because oftentimes what we find is that people who have been around these highly critical individuals, they then internalize this criticism on themselves. So they walk around with this heavy judgment, this heavy critical internal state of being, because they have absorbed it. I liken it, and I use a lot of analogies, but it's like a sponge. You know, if you're like a sponge, you are, you know, receptive, you're impressionable, and then you're taking this criticism in, so you're absorbing it in, you know, the way that a sponge would, or the way that a meat marinade would, or something like that, like a sauce on a piece of fish. You know, you're taking it in, you're taking it on. You are then internalizing it, processing it, and trying to react or interact with them. So if you've done this really for most of your life, or you've been in a constant role where you've had to absorb this, now you want to flush it out. You want to broom it out. You want to get the newest, sharpest broom and broom it out of your being. You want to sweep it out, get it clear out of your being. And you talk about, well, what is your being, peace and harmony? It is your state of perspective, where you are 100% crystal clear. If you've ever looked at a crystal and you see how clear it is, that's how your perspective should be, in a very neutral, clear, positive, truthful state. If you don't know what crystal is, go look at some crystal candlesticks in your nearest retailer and look into the crystal, look into a crystal glass. Look and see how clear it is, and not a dull glass, not a scuffed up glass, not a beat up glass, but a crystal glass. See the prism of lead, you know, the rainbow that kind of emanates from the clarity. That should be your positive base. So you should come from that and then radiate that which is your power, and it is not then like their force. So in other words, you are becoming then like the vibration, like the ping on the crystal glass when someone approaches you. You are ringing out that which is positive, non-judgmental, non-conditional, and with regards and respect and reverence for truth. And oftentimes this comes also, as I recommend, incorporating that feeling of gratitude and bringing that into your life. And then, as we mentioned in the recovery journal, scheduling this in. So schedule in crystal clear perspective. Schedule in an hour of gratitude. Schedule in an hour of neutral, or coming into a very neutral state. And really begin to schedule this in and begin to see what it feels like in your body, because it has to begin there. It has to begin there, and you have to recall it again and again and again, and kind of re-jog your memory so that you can remind your body or rememorize these positive feelings. And then you can then carry this through your day. It's a very powerful tool, and it does take practice, but once you really get it, it will be there forever. It'll be there for your lifelong journey. And it's like riding a bike. Once you have it, you will not forget it. So remember, do not fulfill the anger cycle of the narcissist, the psychopath. Do not let them push the buttons. Deflect it. Be like the crystal clear and coming from a real neutral state. And if you have to, just be, don't react. But if you have to say something and you feel like they're triggering you with anger, turn it around into a question that you can then ask of them and wait for their answer, and you will then disempower the anger cycle that they are seeking to engage you in. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Bye.